To help understand the plyometric training effects on athletic performance in youth soccer athletes, Abigail and colleagues, in their systematic review, reviewed 7 studies involving 122 males and 50 female soccer players, aged between 10 and 17 years, with plyometric training interventions ranging between 1 to 3 days per week, over a 6 to 14 week period. It was found that plyometric training interventions significantly improves kicking distance, speed, jumping ability, and agility. Based off the research reviewed, Abigail and colleagues put forward recommendations in relation to volume and duration, frequency and recovery, and how to go about progressing plyometric training for youth soccer players. This presentation, brought to you by Talking Sports Science, will be a short summary of their recommendations. First of all, it's recommended that plyometric training is performed on the pitch after the warm-up prior to soccer practice, and depending on the number of athletes and the level of plyometric training, the plyometric training is suggested to last around 10 to 25 minutes. For youth soccer players, working up to completing 3 to 4 plyometric bodyweight exercises for 2 to 4 sets, performing 6 to 15 repetitions within each set is recommended. And in terms of foot contacts, initially 50 to 60 contacts per session are recommended, and once an individual is performing the plyometric exercise with proper form and is no longer being challenged by the training, this then can gradually increase, but to help prevent overuse injuries, no more than 80 to 120 foot contacts per session is advised, with the plyometric training program being completed over 8 to 10 weeks. Moving on to frequency and recovery, plyometric training should be performed twice per week, and to ensure sufficient recovery between sessions, 72 hours is recommended between plyometric sessions. And regarding progression, as with all training, plyometrics should be individualized to each athlete with regard to volume and exercise selection. However, here's an example of how plyometric training can be progressed over an 8-week period. During the initial weeks of training, sets and reps can be adjusted one exercise at a time, and it's important to emphasize quality over quantity. Cone and box heights are suggested here, however different heights may be needed for different athletes depending on their physical capability. If the quality of movement starts to deteriorate, the athlete should not continue the exercise, and it's recommended the athlete stop for the day to prevent injury. It should be highlighted that under appropriately qualified supervision, plyometric training is a safe and effective way to improve soccer performance in youth athletes. And that concludes the summary of Abigail and colleagues' recommendations. As always, I recommend you go and check out the full article. The link is in the description. Thanks for listening, folks. See you next time.